Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Iwan bin Amri from group E09 and today I will be showing you a tutorial on how to calculate monthly expenses using Google Sheets. In this tutorial, we will be going over some basic things you can do with Google Sheets, such as creating a sheet, making a title, transferring data from one sheet to another, creating a table, using functions to calculate data, and making charts from the tables. I've placed some timestamps on screen and in the description for anyone who would like to skip to a specific part of the tutorial. So without further ado, let's get started. So for today, I'm going to be using this data I already collected, which is it's not actually my monthly expenses, but it's just monthly expenses from the month of January all the way until May. And the final product should look something like this. Monthly expenses. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to click on this plus sign that says Add Sheet. So click on Add Sheet, and you can name the sheet whatever you want by right clicking it and pressing rename. So let's just say this is table. That's not how you spell table. Table. Okay, so we have table. So you're going to want to organize this data right here and make it look neat and easier to read. So I think the first thing we should do is create a title. So to create a title, you're going to want to increase the font size, make it very nice and easy to read. Let's go with 24. The font can be whatever you want it to be, but I just prefer to leave it as Arial, the default font. And we're going to want to write monthly expenses. So if that doesn't look like a title, I don't know what does. So to make the title pop even more, we're going to want to make it bold or italic. Make it look, very nice and professional. So now we're going to want to make a table. So we could just copy all of this data and paste it in the table, but what I prefer doing is instead we type the equal sign and we look at which table we want to equate. So we just type the equal sign, we go to the other sheet and we click on which data we want to take. Let's just take this, the month, right here, and then we press enter. And there we go. It takes the value of January. So we're going to want to move this here actually. Take this and move it here. Something like this. And we can write here to be our expenses. So we have January. And because in our data it shows accommodation and tuition fees and food, housekeeping, utility bills, all of this stuff underneath January, and it's the same for all of it. We can just come back here, do the equal sign, go back to data, take accommodation, go back to table, press enter, and just click on this blocks over here and drag it down until we get all of the things that we need. Accommodation, tuition fees, food and housekeeping, utility bills, and personal expenses. So you're gonna want to expand. Click on this, make it look nice. Right? See, now the grid follows the words. We have January. So now we want the costs for January. We're gonna go back to data. Come here. Wait, no. You're gonna want to click this, equal sign. Come back to data. This, and it takes the value data at May2 and put it back here and we'll press enter. So 150, and we just take this box because it follows the correct order. You just drag it down, transfers all of the data. So what is this actually doing? So the equal sign is for functions and whatnot, formulas, and it takes, first you write the name of the table, which is what I've named to be data. You link it using an exclamation mark, and then you choose the right box. So for 150, it's at B2, which over here it is in column B, row 2. So it takes 150, and that's how it gets all of its values when you drag it down. So we're gonna want to transfer all of the months. We could make a vertical table since it's all like this, but I prefer it to be horizontal. So just do the same process, equal sign, go back to data, February, that, nope, not what I meant to do. Equal sign, go back to data, February, enter. Okay, March, go here, equal sign, click on March, come back, enter. So we can do this for all the months, and yes, it's a bit tedious, but it is much better than pressing Ctrl C and Ctrl V all the time and hoping that you got everything correct, because this is foolproof. April and last month, which is May. So equal, go back to data, click on May, right table there. Let's see here. Oops, messed that up. Equal May, A29. And there we go. So we have all the months. Now we just take this value over here for February, which is B9, right? So we can actually anticipate. Just do this and do B9. Okay, we get B9's value. Drag it down to here. So there's 9, it's B9, this is B2. So the difference between that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, so B9. So this should be B12, 12, 13. So I could just put data, B13. Oops, forgot the equal sign. That's why equal sign is very important. Is that right? B13. It's no, it's 16. My bad. 16. Drag it down. The same thing here. Equal sign. Data. April, B23, enter, and drag it down here, just B30, cosine, go back to data, this one, B30, press enter, and you just drag it down. Okay, so after that, we finally have transferred all of the data from January to May. And now to make it look neater, I like to, for the months, I will select all of them. And then I will choose horizontal align to change to center. And vertical align to be middle. Well, you can't really see the middle there, but it works. So once you do that, you can do the same for all of these numbers. Center, middle. So now it looks nice and neat. And it's not a table without the borders. So we're gonna select all of that. Click on borders and select all borders. There we go. So now we have everything arranged nicely from January to May. And all of the data is in. So let's say one of your data is wrong, like you realize, oh wait, no, I didn't spend 150 for accommodation, I spent 1,500. That's a big difference. and you just look back, and boom, and 1500 will be here. So there we go. We just change that back to 150 because yeah. So once we have this, now it's easier to look at, and you can figure out what you spent on what much easier, and we can now calculate how much we spent in the month. So let's go month. Wait, no, not monthly expenses. Expenses in the month. So we go with that. Expenses in the month. So we can move this a bit more. There we go. So we want to calculate how much we spent in each month. We can just do this, which is equal sign. Oh wait, no. We can just press is it tools? No. Data? No. Is it tools? Here it is. Functions. Click functions and press sum. And then we type from B3, which is the first value. B3. And then colon until B7. 7. And that should give us the sum we spent in January. So we can do that again for all the months. Just go insert function sum C3 colon C7, and then we do that again here. Just copy paste that actually. Control C, Control V, and Control V. So just copy and pasting. The system knows. So it will calculate all of the monthly expenses in each month. And once again, this you can align it to the center and middle. So now we have the expenses in the month. Now we can figure out what our total expenses are. Total expenses. And the way you can do this is by once again clicking on insert function sum, and we can just click on these instead of typing it out. It's the sum from B9 to F9, and that will be our total 5,550. And center line. So we can also get the highest value in the month, like out of all the months, what is the highest value. So let's say highest cost, highest expense, highest cost. Then we click on insert functions max, and then we just select all of these, enter. So the highest cost we've ever spent was 500, and for lowest cost we can do the same thing, except instead of max we're gonna insert the function minimum, and we just highlight this, press enter. So the minimum cost was 50, highest cost was 500, minimum cost was 50. You can do the whole centering thing again, and we can make the borders appear, make it look neat. So once we do all this, we have our expenses in the month, total expenses, highest cost, and lowest cost. If we change anything here, it will automatically change everything in the table. So that makes things much easier. So it's more efficient. Alright, so it's still a table. Table is not that interesting to look at, so we can make it look nicer by giving it some color. So I want to make it that, make the whole thing this color. and maybe this will be a darker shade of it, and we can change this to be maybe purple. Yep, that looks fine. So make it look very nice. Again, make it so that the colors change, so it's not just all purple. Make it purple, and yeah, I'm liking blue. So blue, purple, blue, purple. It's be really confusing for a colorblind person. Oops, wrong shade of. Is that the right shade of blue? No, that's the wrong shade of blue. It's this one. There we go. It looks nice. Do the same for this one. Color it like this. Color this. Can make it red. Can make this green. Okay. So now we have title, tables, expenses of the month, highest cost, lowest cost. So it's looking pretty nice. The tables are nice, but it's still just tables. So to make it even nicer to look at, or easier to look at, and just figure out things faster instead of having to read through the entire table, we're going to insert a chart. So press insert, press chart, and the Google Sheets automatically suggests the best chart for you to use. So I prefer the column chart, and there, it automatically generates the column chart for you, though it's not the smartest since it still doesn't, like, the name is January, February, March, April, May. You can change that by clicking on it, and it opens up chart titles. You can change that to monthly expenses. Okay, monthly expenses, and there we go. So now we have what's this? It's a chart to show our monthly expenses. So now we can tell that spent the highest in food and housekeeping and personal expenses in the month of March, personal expenses, and in food and housekeeping in April, food and housekeeping. So that's overall, a chart for overall. But what if you want just like a singular pie chart for let's say you want for the month of January? So what you want to do is you want to press insert. Wait, no. You want to select this. You want to press insert a chart, and you want to choose, scroll down to chart type and choose pie chart. Label it for expenses. Value. Wait, no, this is not right. Sorry, select this to here. Insert chart. Choose pie chart. There we go. So it shows in the month of January the percentages of what we spent our money on. Personal expenses 9.5%, and we can aggregate. Sorry, not aggregate. What's the button I wanted to press? Alright, so that doesn't really matter. You can customize it. You can change the color or the background. Make it some. You can change the chart border to being black. Okay, there you go. We have a chart here for January. If you wanted to do one for February, you just highlight till February, insert chart, choose type, go back to pie chart, and then value being February. Change the title to just February, and there we go, February. So we have February selected. So that's how you make pie charts and bar charts. And once again, because everything's linked to the data table, you change anything here and everything will be affected. So if you hit 4 million, is that 4 million? 40,000, 400,000. Go back to table, Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be expected. So go back to data, let's make that a normal number again. For our last part, since these numbers do represent money, we should have put the dollar signs, to represent it as currency. But Google Sheets does have a feature where we can just highlight all of this and click this button that says Format as Currency. And once we click on it, it then puts dollar signs in front of all of the numbers, including the 2 decimal places for the cents. So now we have done that. All of these numbers are formatted to look like currency, and our monthly expenses are complete with our charts and our tables. That's all for my tutorial today, and thank you very much.